are here with our friends Tim Jordan, Paul Barron, and Troy Johnston. And we just wanted to go live this morning to talk about the craziness lately. This week, it seems like every time we go to an event, something crazy happens, right? My event in Austin, Texas, the whole announcement was made that RebateKey and Elite Seller, I think there were others too that were disconnected from Amazon, and that was crazy. And then Brandon Young posted a few days ago from a moderator in the Seller Central forums that stated that, you know, rebates are no longer allowed. Two-step URLs are no longer allowed. And then there was some rumblings this morning that ManyChat was frowned upon by Amazon, and we can't use ManyChat anymore. And it's just like this crazy situation. And so we thought, let's go live this morning and let's talk about it. You know, before we get into it, let's just do a quick introduction. Troy, let's start with you. Just tell everybody a bit about yourself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I've started selling on Amazon back in 2015, so a long time seller. And what I do now is focus on providing tools through seller.tools, which is our platform, kind of an all-in-one suite of tools that covers some of the things that we're talking about now, as well as keyword research, listing optimization, all of that good stuff. So this is really pertinent to us as we see the community sort of responding to like, hey, you know, we see whether it's tool providers or what's working for ranking or just general Amazon volatility too. This is somewhat par for the course. We know just about every year, like clockwork, Amazon has, whether it's a mention or an update. So yeah, I try to view this in the lens of both a tool provider and a seller.
Yeah, you know, it's a scary time for tool providers right now because it's like, geez, what is actually the problem, and are we in some kind of violation? And especially for those tool providers that solely rely on Amazon, you know, and I know your tool is one of my favorites. Your Chrome extension is one of my favorites. And there is something there to kind of keep track of your rebates. And so it's like, okay, is there anything there of concern? So thank you for being here. And let's turn it over to Paul, who does some things with ManyChat. He uses ManyChat all the time. He talks about it on stage. He won Best Speaker for his talk at Seller Meetup. So Paul, say hello.
Hey guys. Yeah. So for those of you who aren't familiar with me, I guess the two things I'm known for are chatbot, ManyChat specifically, and then influencer marketing stuff. I've been using chat marketing, ManyChat specifically, since 2017. I've been doing chatbot since 2016, which is funny because it's, you know, seems like a long time because that was when their API first opened up with Messenger. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I could start giving my opinions on things, but really, I've been in digital marketing since 2008, and you constantly see stuff like this where major platforms, Google for example, is constantly rolling out updates to protect their user base. Really, is what it comes down to, because you know we all know that there are people in our industry that do things in black hat and gray manners, and it's not, in my opinion, it's not the tool, it's what you're doing with the tool. Like, cars are great vehicles to get you from point A to point B, but you could also kill people with cars. So it's not the car that's bad if you're killing, you know, whatever. But anyway, so that's my, yeah, Paul Barron. I'm not going to get too deep into my opinion, but Timmy.
I'm just Paul's chauffeur.
We're going to a mastermind. We're going to see Troy tomorrow, right, Troy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna
we're
gonna be in person with Troy tomorrow. So we're just heading a day early to go fishing.
I love it.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing those guys.
The pregame there. So, you know, we all know that Amazon, a moderator on Amazon submitted, it was a moderator. It was not an Amazon official policy. It was a moderator, and this this moderator's post about Amazon's policies. I'm trying to find it right now so I can share my screen. But this moderator's post was pinned to the top of all of the threads related to this topic. And now it is no longer pinned. So I thought that was interesting. It was pinned, obviously.
It's just been unpinned, right?
It's been unpinned.
Yes, it's no longer pinned. It's been unpinned. And so, everybody's kind of in an uproar over this. Is like, what does this mean? So some people said, does this mean that I can only use PPC? So let's go through, first of all, that moderator's post, like what that said. So there was a few things that were brought up. The first thing was that you cannot offer promotions. Like Amazon's bottom line on this was that you cannot offer promotions that are not offered on Amazon, right? So basically eliminating any kind of rebate or any kind of discount off of Amazon. So you can't drive traffic to Amazon for a promotion that you're not offering on Amazon, is how I read that. Did you guys read that the same way?
That being the spirit of the language.
So what about, how can Amazon really prevent that though? Because what about manufacturers' rebates? Where you call the manufacturer and you get a rebate, right? How do you think that Amazon will enforce this?
From my perspective, it's really challenging to enforce. You think, Amy, your example of a D2C brand who they're maybe coming on to Amazon, they're just finally getting their presence and coming online. They have those same challenges as we do when we think about an Amazon-centric brand running promotions, running discounts. So I don't want to say it's impossible to enforce, but they've sort of, again, through this language, and you've clarified correctly, this isn't explicit policy. This isn't terms of service updates. This is a moderator who is, yes, speaking on behalf of Amazon in an Amazon forum, is maybe not using if it's not the best language, it's language as we can interpret it now that would just be very challenging to enforce because they want that mirror off Amazon on Amazon. And
think about this. I think a lot of times sellers or Amazon makes us third-party sellers feel like we follow a different set of rules than everybody else. An example would be the rule about you can't drive traffic from your Amazon sale to somewhere other than Amazon, right? And there was a big hoopla a couple of years ago about, can I put my website on an insert card? Can I put my website on my packaging? And my response was always, if I buy a pair of Nike tennis shoes off of Amazon, of course the box is going to say Nike.com. And Amazon would never in a million years say, hey, Nike, you can't put Nike.com on your packaging. But technically, you could be accused of incentivizing, that traffic to go elsewhere. Sorry, I'm driving. But I still feel like that's the same even with the rebates. If Nike said, hey, we're going to run a rebate, buy a pair, get a pair, if they're not going to enforce it for Nike, I don't see how they can enforce it for us.
Right.
We don't live by a different set of rules. Amazon just throws out stuff that might be against, even trade regulations and laws, and they get away with it because we follow that crap.
Right. And my thing is, this is what I told my team and our clients, was that you have, in order to really understand, anytime Amazon does these updates, you have to understand their goals. What's the intent, right? What's the intent of any law or rule or anything, right? Or the spirit of the law is what I like to say. So one thing we know for sure, Amazon cares about customer ecstasy. Primarily, that's their number one driving factor. They want their customers to be ecstatic, to come back, use Amazon all the time. That's why they have Prime. That's why they have streaming services. That's why they have music services. That's why they do all these things, because they want to create customer ecstasy. The second thing that I know about Amazon is they like making boatloads of money. If they can capture all of the money that all of these third-party services are now doing and basically tie people to Amazon, that's what they want to do. So reading between the lines here, what I'm saying is, they have language on don't use funnels. literally anything that drives a sale is a funnel. Like, it's a funnel. If it starts somewhere and ends in a sale, that's a funnel. How are you going to like say you can't have funnels? Now, the thing again, coming back to customer ecstasy, what drives poor customer experiences are things like, they said treasure hunts, right? Like, that's annoying. That's just a bad customer experience. You want to give people what they want, when they like right away. So it all comes back to like, it's not the tool, it's how you use the tool. If you are abusive in how you're using the tool, ManyChat, it doesn't matter. If you're breaking the rules, like providing a poor customer experience, then you're going to get in trouble. Now, that being said, we all know that mistakes happen, and Amazon seemingly randomly enforces arbitrarily some rules, and that just happens. But general rule of thumb, if you understand, like, you're following the intent of the rule, you understand, what's up, Tom? You understand that, don't do things that are going to artificially inflate rank for crappy garbage products. If you're only in it for the money, if you have a piece of junk product that would never rank on its own, that's what I'm saying. That's really what this all comes down to.
So, I'm sharing the screen right now of what this Amazon forums moderator said. This was the post that was pinned to the top of these pages. And, the first sentence, I think, very clearly explains what you were just saying, Paul, which is the Amazon Seller Code of Conduct requires acting fairly and prohibits manipulating sales rank.
Right.
So, it was funny because when this got posted, I literally just got off the stage at Amazon Powwow, and I was talking about external traffic and how I use two-step URLs with Google Ads to not manipulate sales rank, to make sure that my ads are going to not directly to the sales page, because not every click is going to lead to a sale, right? But I think there are definitely some types of URLs. So can we talk about two-step URLs? Can we talk about the URLs that are used? I think there are some types of URLs that clearly manipulate sales rank, and search, find, buy used at a mass level could clearly manipulate sales rank. So do we think that there's any way, do we think that there's anything that's still okay? Like, in my opinion, if you're running diverse traffic, right? You're running lots of diverse traffic to your listings, and you're using legitimate traffic sources, right? Maybe you have an ad on Deal News, and you're talking about your promotion that's on Amazon, right? And that's one of your sources. Maybe you're doing Google Ads, which is very bottom of funnel, right? Maybe you're also doing some type of rebate, right? But you have diverse traffic going. You're not necessarily asking for a full price. You're not giving away every single one of your sales from all the traffic that's going to Amazon. At what point do we think that it's going to be obvious to the Amazon algorithm? Like, I always tell everybody, look, if you're only running rebates and you're running a ton of rebates, and then you stop those rebates and you're not running any other traffic, you're going to get caught, because that's obvious to Amazon's algorithm that you were doing giveaways, right? Because you don't have any other traffic going to Amazon, right? But then we also have, some of us have our own email list, just like Paul does. Some of us have our own email list where we're rewarding our customers on our email list with sometimes free products, things like that. But that's a very natural thing to do, right? That's a very natural rebate. It's not like you're doing 20 of them a day and then you're not doing anything else, and you're doing it specifically to manipulate sales rank. So where's the line? Where do we think you're going to be okay? And where do we think that there's danger in offering any type of free products or severely discounted products, that kind of thing?
Troy, you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, and again, I try to view this as both seller and a tool provider, is that I think this really reinforces control for brand owners of what type of ownership do you have of both the customer and any of that promotional activity? Because your point, Amy, of consistently doing the same thing over and over again is often very problematic. And the services that we saw come down are you submit a form, and then on the back end, the tool does the search visibility or the ranking boost. I would probably discourage doing something like that right now. I would think about how can I actually start to own that customer and that buying experience, and think about a variety of promotional activities. And if you're comfortable, this is, I think, what this is serving as a good check of is, and this is my philosophy, is that pretty much anything that we do that's an advantage to us as Amazon sellers can be interpreted against TOS. What was once very vague language is now we have specific, from a moderator, we have specific tactics. So the strategy was covered in vague language. Now we have tactics covered in this post. So what we can do with that information as sellers is think, okay, how can I control my buying community, my rabid fan base that are behind my product that, again, we're assuming is quality product that we have sourced, we've iterated, it's the best it can be. And then we're running a diversity of promotional activities of, yes, maybe we're launching for a period of time, but then we're running a BOGO offer, or then we're working with an influencer. We are giving Amazon a variety of social signals, promotional signals, and potentially URLs to where everything they see is, wow, you're doing a dozen different things, versus the seller that's going to a launch platform and saying, give away 100 units of my product, and we're going to cross our fingers, hope that, and entrust our business in that process. And I think if there's the signal versus noise right now, that is the clear signal of controlling and owning the process. You're in a much better shape, in my opinion, when it comes to the current terms of service and the response to this post.
I couldn't agree more, Troy. The big thing to put a key on, this is not terms of service update. This is not written in the terms of service. And I have a couple examples I can give you the thing. I used in my speech in 2019 very specific examples of very confusing language in terms of service. One of which was if you use coupons to artificially inflate sales ranks. And they were talking about coupons native to the Amazon platform. Okay? That is confusing. Because for one, that was a part of terms of service that they removed. And it was removed. I'm not going to say it was because of my speech, but I know that I started talking about it, other people started talking about it, and Amazon listens to us. So they removed that from their terms of service, and what actually happened was the terms of service then became even more vague and more confusing. They used to have a lot of very specific examples of exactly what you could do and what you couldn't do. And in my opinion, Amazon is not going to ever have that exactly what you can do and can't do language anymore in terms of service. And my opinion on why is because if they make it to it like where it's basically vague enough that they can then become the arbitrators. It's their terms of service, right? So they're the ones interpreting their terms of service. If they were to go to Congress, what court would say, Amazon, you're interpreting your terms of service wrong? No one's going to say that. So in my opinion, it's intentionally vague because there are a lot of bad actors that it doesn't matter how descriptive you make it. They will always find a loophole. And Amazon is about closing loopholes because really what this is in response to is the bad course mentality, the guru mentality of everybody can make $1 million, just find a great product, copy it. It's not about research and development. It's about ripping off and duplicating. That's bad advice, in my opinion. It's the most garbage advice that you can get from anyone because Amazon cares about great products from great brands so that people they're excited. But when you have a platform that's saturated with 200 different silicone spatulas that are exactly the same, and then the one at the top is just the one that paid the most to be there, that's not a good experience for the customers, for their customers. So coming down to it, I don't think that this is going to be a part of terms of service, but what it did was it gave us an insight, I think internally with internal documentation that Amazon has. And again, coming back to like what you said, Troy, this is going to put more focus on businesses that treat their brand as a brand. If you view your brand as a brand, you're not an Amazon business, you're not an Amazon brand, you're not an Amazon business owner. You own a brand and you leverage Amazon. That's what you need to be shifting your thinking to, because brands and businesses that do this invest in building customers. They invest in their story. They invest in their brand experience because they understand that Amazon is just one channel. And if you get really good at gaming the channel Amazon, but you don't have a user base that you can go off of Amazon, you don't have a business, in my opinion. You don't have a real, like, you have a money-making thing. But anyway, that's what Amazon is trying to do. They're courting brands that understand that that if you can bring traffic, there we go, changing my Amazon cares about like those brands that bring traffic to their platform. And if you can do that, create a raving audience base, create a raving fan base, like you said, then you're going to win.
Yeah, and Neil says it's TOS clarification, a warning shot of what's to come, in my humble opinion. Yeah, some of us were wondering if this in the past, pinned moderation comments like this have turned into TOS updates. So we'll wait and see. We don't want to just jump right to that conclusion. And then another good point made by David Hamilton, case in point, the entire SEO industry is technically against Google's TOS, so they can enforce the vague rules however they want. It is Amazon's playground, to Paul's point, right? It's Amazon's playground. If we put all of our eggs in the Amazon basket, and we're clearly only using, to Troy's point, one tactic to, I'm going to give away 50 of my products a day and then not use any other forms of traffic, and just it's clear manipulation, right? So it's not that we can't use techniques to help boost our sales and help get eyes on our products, but it's how we do it and the different ways that that we're legitimizing that traffic, I guess you could say. If that's the only thing we're doing, then and the thing is, if that's what you have to do, if you're selling those types of products where that's what you have to do, you might want to take another look. Like if you have to give your products away, like giving a few free products to your list is one thing, but if you have to give your products away in order to rank them, you might want to look at your products again, right? The types of products that you're selling. Now, that being said, I do want to show that in these I want to talk about Facebook ads, right? Because Facebook ads, there's a lot of, ManyChat use with Facebook ads, and in the Seller Central forums, people are reporting these Facebook ads, right? And these moderators are actually reporting these sellers to Amazon, right? So the thing is, I think that there's an easy way to look for these Facebook ads that are clearly giving products away and clearly offering Amazon gift cards and stuff like this. But that's what these folks are doing, is they're reporting their competitors that are running these type of ads. And if you dig into this thread a little bit deeper, you can see these sellers are actually going and clicking on these ads and going into ManyChat and looking at what is being offered. Like, do you have to get it? How do I get this product for free? Do I give a review? Do I have to take a screenshot? Right. And you can actually see on this thread that they are posting these things and following up and reporting these folks. So, and then there was another post in another group that said that Amazon does not like ManyChat, and in order for us to be added back to Amazon's tool system, ManyChat was one of the things that we had to remove. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this of you, because there's a lot of people that, especially in supplements, it's clear in supplements that in order to rank, you've got to, you need to have some tactics, right? So I don't just want to call out these brands who are already being called out by other sellers, but what do you think is going to be done? Do you think Amazon already looks for these ads and is already, kind of secret shoppering these things?
Here's my opinion on that is, again, it's not the tool, it's how you use the tool. And you said this, it's how you're doing things, but I think more importantly, your what's and whys drive your house. Why are you doing what you're doing? Do you only care about being number one on Amazon? And that will determine a lot of your what's, like what you do and how you do it. So I think that the person that made that post that said Amazon doesn't like ManyChat, that's like saying cars kill people, so I'm not going to drive them. Stupid. It doesn't make sense because this person got their API keys blocked because of how they were doing things. So that's my opinion. They were doing things that was very clearly gray hat, very clearly in the gray area. We all knew it. Everybody knew it. And it's not like earth-shattering that they got caught, or that Amazon said, we don't like it anymore. Nothing to do with ManyChat. If you are using, I have seen very clear examples of people abusing Amazon's terms of service, Facebook's terms of service inside ManyChat. I've seen that. So in my opinion, it's not ManyChat. It is, in my opinion, I think you need to have a diversity of external traffic. If all of your traffic is coming from one source, and Amazon starts seeing this and they think that you might be artificially inflating sales rank, then they're going to shut you off until they can figure out whether you actually are. Now that one ad that you had, buy one get two free, in my opinion, according to this update, the love bug one, if you want to scroll up to that, Amy, the middle one, just down a little bit, that one, yeah. That one, honestly, I don't see how that's necessarily a violation if those two free ones are delivered from Amazon. I think two's a little heavy, but the one thing that I would do is I'd go through the funnel and see what are they requiring you to do to get the freebies. Are the freebies delivered and shipped from Amazon, or are they shipped from your warehouse? If they're shipped from your warehouse, that would be a violation based on this update, on that clarification that they did. If they're shipped from Amazon, I don't necessarily see, I don't know, Tim, what you think. I don't think that would necessarily be a violation unless they're saying this is pretty common knowledge too. I've talked to a lot of, people in supplements, and a lot of them, they have said, well, we have to do this, leave a review to get a free bottle because everyone else is doing that. I don't buy that. You don't have to do anything. That's come on. It's the same thing that you tell your mom. Well, just because everyone's jumping off a cliff doesn't mean you have to also, sweetheart. I mean,
you would tell your mom that, or your mom would tell you that?
My mom would tell me that. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's also my translator. He's my chauffeur and translator.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
So my question for you is it a violation to give away two free products on, that moderator comment said that this promotion, if it's not available to be claimed on Amazon, then it's a violation, right? So
I think Amazon can claim it, but I don't think it's legal. I think Federal Trade Commission is going to have a lot to say about Amazon terms of service now, because it's like the price fixing stuff, right? Like that whole law about Amazon says you can't sell unless, you can't sell if you have the same product offered cheaper elsewhere. And then they do some things with you losing your own listing in buy box if you raise your price. If you look at the FTC's laws about price fixing, that's it. So just because Amazon's saying it doesn't mean that Amazon's going to be able to uphold it long term either.
Right.
Right. So as Paul said, if we're looking at the funnel of this particular, so if I click send message And inside that funnel, it says, yeah, go ahead and buy one and send us a screenshot that you left a review and we'll send you 2 for free. You're going to get shut down, like, period.
Okay.
Like, you can't do that. But is there anything wrong with providing 2 free products when they buy one? Is that sales rank manipulation? Because it appears still, if you're fulfilling through Amazon, through multi-channel fulfillment, if you're doing that, it is still counts as a sale.
Right.
And
Now,
Amazon doesn't know that it's free. So it's...
If it's a rebate, Amy, if it's a rebate, they wouldn't know that it's free. But if it's a legit buy one, get 2, that's a coupon that you set up in Amazon, those are coupons that are on Amazon's platform.
Yes,
so
I would agree there, but if you didn't set it up on Amazon, it's a violation, right?
Exactly. That would be where you would get in trouble. So the ways that I could see this being against TOS would be, the first would be, most likely this is a buy one and let's buy 3 and we'll rebate 2. That's what with most, I don't know. Maybe they're most likely doing that. The other thing that they could be doing, like I said, is buy 1 full price on Amazon, get 2 shipped from our warehouse. I've seen that a lot. If that's the case, that's an off Amazon coupon. The way that I'm reading this is that it has to be using the Amazon tools that are native inside Amazon, those promotions that you have, like the social media coupon promotion.
I know Troy loves seeing his seller tools plug in at the top of
I like seeing that chroma there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think this is going to be tough. There's a lot of people with these already set up in their pipeline. They've already been using these. But that being said, if you set it up on Amazon, there's still a way to give away your products. And, to do this, you just have to do it through Amazon in order for it not to be obviously flagged, right?
Yeah. And I'll be honest too. We have clients and users that will implement a strategy just like this because we have the MCF order functionality where you can automatically trigger from your FBA inventory, send it for a BOGO offer or, something quite similar. So if you fulfill it through Amazon, and I didn't see in that thread or that response of what they were citing as the person that shared that post. But I mean, let's be honest too. If they shared their detail page, I'm sure I could find multiple violations of the TOS. Are you following style guidelines? Do you have periods misplaced? Do you so I worry about this idea of quickly pointing out missteps in the TOS when, again, the truth is, and David brought up a immensely valid point, is that it's paramount to Google SEO. And essentially Amazon blanket statements and says anything that manipulates sales ranks or artificially boosts sales ranks or gives you an advantage, and we can think of it kind of generally that way. Well, if I optimize really well, if I go beyond style guidelines and I'm not matching that completely and specifically, I'm already, and most of us again are, it's just kind of a spectrum and what we're comfortable with, breaking TOS. So I feel that same way when it comes to, those types of offers that, Paul brought up a really great and valid point too. And this is where I think if we use this as kind of the way we approach our business of, I want to take care of my customers the same way that Amazon does. I want to be customer centric, go above and beyond, provide a great product and buying experience. If that's the premise, when you use these types of strategies on that spectrum, you tend to be what we would just consider safer. You would just treat your customers exceptionally well, have them coming back, have them sharing, providing that word of mouth, the best marketing there is. And that's what your goal is, not a dependency on top of a dependency. Because again, we offer rebate functionality, but I would never tell you focus just on Amazon, just on rebates. It's a part of your overall strategy, not dependencies on any one.
And I think that's a great answer to David Hamilton's question here. What are the opportunities here for savvy sellers to take advantage of this climate? And that is that, you have a diverse variation of strategies, and you're not just relying on one old tactic, and you're not clearly in violation of what's already been in terms of service for a long time, right? Like they're saying the manipulation of traffic has already been in TOS for a long time. So, this post by this moderator provided a little bit of extra to that. But again, TOS has not been updated to specifically say that. So we really have to look at, there are opportunities. You can always, like to Paul's point, you could always, set up a promotion on Amazon if you're wanting to get a lot of sales velocity, and then advertise that on Facebook. You're not in violation then, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do here. It's obvious that there's a lot here that to unpack. Tom says, great word, Paul, do business the right way. Algo hackers are nothing more than revenue grabbers. Please help Jordan keep his eyes on the road. Oh my goodness. And Ryan says that he really loves seller tools. Yeah, I got everybody in my groups hooked on it. And then one more question from Bilal. He says, are giveaways banned in the UK, EU marketplace too? Or is this update in TOS is only for the US? So first of all, Bilal, it's not an update of TOS that we're talking about. It was a moderator posted in a forum. Rank manipulation has always been against TOS across the board on Amazon, whether UK, US, .com, whatever, right? So giveaways are not necessarily banned, right? It's about how you execute that giveaway. Giveaways if you're giving a product away and you're asking for a review in exchange for that giveaway, you are in violation of TOS, period. You can give away your products all you want. Like, that's fine, but you cannot ask for reviews on any Amazon marketplace in exchange for that giveaway. So, or at least you can't get caught doing it. I mean, that's the point, right, guys? Do you agree with me there?
Yeah. We'll boil this down to solid business building practices. What normal business has a launch strategy of giving away a boatload of stuff, hoping that they start making money later? Seriously, guys. Like, I'm so fed up with this BS. I hate giveaways. I hate rebates. You know why I hate rebates? Because it doesn't make sense in normal business. Why in the world would you give away your products, which is supposed to design, it's literally designed to spoof a sale? What is wrong? Like, why spoof a sale when you could make money? It's like groundbreaking advice. I'm sorry, but this has been like it's been a part of the Amazon seller ecosystem for too long, and I'm glad to see it go. I hate it. I am so glad this is happening. You know, when we give stuff away, we give it to customers that have purchased from us in the past because we're rewarding them. We're thanking them. We don't give stuff away to people that have never heard of us before. Why don't we do that? Because I don't want a bunch of giveaway whores buying my stuff. That's what they are. Like, we have done stuff in the past where we have had these contests where we give stuff away, which is a great way to do lead gen. But early on, I don't do that much anymore because it generates bad lists. I'm about building solid lists of people that want to pay me for my stuff. If you are building your list off of people, and that's the thing, is that people don't even think about this as building a list. You are building a list in multiple ways. First and foremost, you're telling Amazon's algorithm that this group of people is your target audience. Amazon is a data crunching machine. So they're going to start showing your ads, showing your stuff to people that aren't in your ideal audience. Okay? That's one thing that's bad. The other thing that's bad is you're literally throwing money down the drain. Like, if you could launch a product and build a list at the same time, you are going to be 5 to 25 times more
Yeah.
This is practices, guys. People, one from you again, it's like slim to none. It's garbage advice. I hate them. I hate them so much, Amy. You can just keep that banner scrolling.
I love it.
Oh, man.
Very good point. All right. Well, I think this has been
You don't have to play devil's advocate and tell Paul he's wrong, right?
I'm fine with that.
Paul said that no businesses that are legitimate will actually do giveaways.
Oh, stop that. To build
Well,
it.
I go to Costco to get the free giveaways.
Hey.
How was I going to know that shrimp fried rice was going to be awesome unless they gave me a free sample? Paul?
Okay. To the extent that Amazon sellers do, it's my point.
Free food
It's
is
my
different.
point. It's to the extent that most Amazon sellers do. It's like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And you're ignoring the fact that the audience that you're building is garbage. So I agree with him at the point.
That Paul Barron really thinks it's important to build an audience, and Tim Jordan really likes free food at Costco. I love it. Okay, you guys. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for being here. I have a meeting in a few minutes. I think that this has been a really awesome conversation. Everybody's made really good points here, and hopefully everybody that tuned into this live stream and is catching the replay gets good information about, first of all, what I'm taking away from this is, number one, this is not a message to panic about. I mean, terms of service has been terms of service this entire time, right? Nothing has changed. Rank manipulation has been against the rules from the beginning, right? So if you're wondering about if what you're doing is allowed, ask yourself, okay, if I go through your funnel, is it clear rank manipulation, number one? And are you asking for a review in return for whatever it is that you're giving? If you're doing those two things, you're in violation already of terms of service, whether or not you read this mod post, right? So, and then when it comes to URLs and everything like that, the point is to, again, look at all of your traffic, look at what you're asking that URL to do. Is it a URL like Amazon uses, or are you doing something like an add to cart or something that is clear? Like if I follow that URL, it's clear rank manipulation. That's where you have to be careful. If somebody can follow up and check your actions, and your actions are clearly against what is currently in terms of service, then you're going to run into a problem. So I think it's really, really good to still use great techniques to engage your audience, to build your audience, not of, a freebie audience, but an audience that's actually excited about your products. But utilize those tools, those marketing tools that have been tested by time and are just awesome and go along with building your brand. And then look at what you are doing. Look at if someone else checked it, would it be clearly in violation? And if that's the case, then you probably, you're in danger there. So you need to be careful about that. All right, guys, any last words before we sign off?
Thanks, Amy, for bringing us together. Yeah. And I know Paul wanted to really reinforce tools, ManyChat. It really just depends on how you use it, right? That's the biggest thing. And make sure you're comfortable with it as a business owner. Because even I think some of the strategies, again, I don't mind giveaways. I agree with Paul's chauffeur to a degree, not a dependency. Anytime you're depending on one strategy or tactic, it's a house of cards. But if you fold it into an overall strategy, own your customer, act as if you're Amazon, deliver on a great buying experience, be customer centric, that's where you have that control. But again, sometimes this takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy. So hopefully people are saying, hey, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to put in the time and effort and build that valuable list and control some of that promotional activity.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.